Let us pray. Holy and sustaining God, may the words of our mouths and the meditations of all our hearts upon these scriptures and our experiences be acceptable to you, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. In the prophet Isaiah this morning, we hear, "Has it not been told you from the beginning? Have you not heard the story all of your life? Are you listening?" Have faith, dear ones. There is the promise of God's peace. It has always been there. This passage tells what has happened while in exile. It is important to hear good news in the midst of the worst news that Israel has experienced. So where are we, beloved? At the program annual meeting in May, I offered a litany of events that have happened during my tenure. And yet, we have continued to push through it. We are now 6 months beyond that and still pushing through. Thanks be to God. What a better day to hear the words of the prophet Isaiah. Have you not heard? Are you listening? I have been listening to this passage from Isaiah all week. And the words that repeat in my head are from a song I learned at Pilgrim Lodge. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount upon wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Help us, Lord, in thy way. Then, in the gospel lesson this morning from Mark, we hear that the whole town has gathered at the door of the city. From the Working Preacher podcast, we are reminded that the reality is that when masses gather, that is significant as you're accounting for the events around you. So how do we as a church speak in such a way that it gathers the crowds? The healing moment that we are witness to in this story is invitational. It too is a moment of, have you not heard? Are you not listening? Jesus is magnetic in the way he approaches his ministry. He offers good news in a bad situation. Now, this falls at the beginning of the Gospel of Mark. It is the beginning of Jesus' ministry. It presents this list of responsibilities that work into his ministry position, at least for right now. He is responsible for preaching and teaching and healing and casting out demons, to say nothing of the line on the job description that says, "and other duties as assigned." And those, like any ministry position, as it are clearer as that matures. Beloved, the last 2 years have definitely been packed with significant challenges in the life of the church. Here's the thing, though. I know that God is at work in us. 8 years ago, I was a part of a clergy group in New York that worked with Paul Nixon over the course of 2 years. Paul is the author of the book, I Refuse to Lead a Dying Church. A couple others in that series as well. That experience exposed me to a variety of resources on church sustainability and revitalization. Oh, the things I read. And folks, as I look back on that reading, I know God is at work in this church. This past summer, I was invited into another clergy cohort with Paul and 7 other clergy from across the country. Our topic was to discuss ministry in the midst of the pandemic, something that none of us have ever been through, right? Well, this past Wednesday was our final gathering. Our discussion was what comes next? When this is over, when we are back safely in our congregations, what does church look like? How will it have changed? How are we to bring this wilderness experience back into life to help it sustain and regenerate our mission and ministry? The truth is that we don't know, but the likelihood is that if we survive this, we may actually thrive in ministry. To a certain extent, I could even hear the words of the prophet echoing, "Have you not heard? Are you listening?" God is at work in us. The secrets of survival are somewhat simple. None of this will be a surprise to your ears. Here are a couple of things. We must take our relationship with God seriously, especially in these wilderness moments. We must find healthy ways to be in relationships, with boundaries and respecting process and the way that we do church. How can we be healthy in the way we do church? We must take our call to discipleship seriously and reach beyond our comfort level to welcome people in. We must value and invest in our covenant with the wider body of Christ. We are not alone in this. Our congregation may call the 4 walls of 235 Main Street their spiritual home, but we extend beyond that. We depend on other bodies of Christ to survive. None of this should be news to you. Have you not heard? Are you listening? In just a little bit, this congregation will be gathering for our financial annual meeting. Like many churches, our budget and finances are challenging. From previous experience, I know that there is a tendency to circle the wagons when money gets tight. Sadly, and more often than not, circling wagons does not help long-term sustainability. But folks, here's some good news. There is good news in the wilderness. Have you not heard? Are you listening? In answering the call to discipleship and entering into covenant, think of that when we're listening, singing that last hymn. We acknowledge the mysterious power of God. We opt to drop our nets and look to build community. So friends, I ask you to put a little faith in God and take a few chances as we move forward. We may be in the wilderness, but God is with us. certainly you have heard. Certainly you are listening. So hear it again. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount upon wings as eagles. Thanks be to God. Amen.